Hello, my friends. Welcome to another episode of Deep True Crime. I'm Manny Rodriguez. In today's episode, we are continuing the story of the Debbie Collier case. Law enforcement, they found the Athens mom, Debbie Collier's remains on September 11th, one day after she was reported missing. Debbie was found dead under brutal circumstances a day after police say she sent her daughter, Amanda Bearden, a $2,385 payment using the Venmo app and a bizarre message that suggested she was being held against her will. Investigators, they publicly ruled out both kidnapping and suicide in this case. I reported on this a couple days ago, and so I want to give a newer update around this case. Because as they're trying to find the killer, and yes, she looks to have been murdered. And as they're trying to find the killer, new details keep coming out, but it's around someone very close to her. And again, law enforcement hasn't said anything about any suspects, any persons of interest. They are obviously continuing their investigation without releasing much details. But Amanda Bearden, her daughter, and her boyfriend, stories continue to come out about them. Again, nothing directly tying them to this case. But considering that this is a weird case, the last thing you want to do, if you're the daughter, you don't want to keep hearing your name tied to this. But unfortunately, they're doing their investigation, things continue to come up. Let's go ahead and dive into the new updates. Deputies found Collier stripped naked at the bottom of an embankment off a rural highway 60 miles north of her home in Athens, lying on her back with her hands grasping at a tree and with charring on her abdomen. There were remnants of a fire nearby, as well as a partially burnt blue tarp and a red tote bag. Her rented Chrysler Pacifica, which led police to her location, was abandoned alongside the road. But Fox News Digital obtained a police body cam video from the Georgia police that shows the on and off again boyfriend of the daughter, Amanda Bearden, arrested outside her home in September of 2021 for violating a no-contact order and banging on her door in a dispute over money, which he claimed she was siphoning directly out of his account despite an ugly breakup. Listen to the body cam footage, and then we'll continue to discuss after.
Living here?
I haven't recently, but still been taking money from my car, and that's the only reason we've had any contact. Because every week she takes $500 or $600 from my check, and I just don't see how that's right. She goes, does dope with my money. Like I've made over $30,000-$40,000, and I'm completely broke because she spends it all on drugs. My issue, there's clothes in the house that is mine. Tell me what happened when you came over here. I asked for my clothes, and she said I needed to. I just got here. I haven't done anything wrong. That window's been. Can I just leave if she's not going to give me my stuff? I really haven't. I'm trying to figure out what's going on somebody's door this early. Calls and seen it. So I understand. I feel like stuff's been stolen or whatever. She said to not ring the doorbell because the cat doesn't like it. I just knocked on the door. I haven't done anything that they're saying. They've already made false charges against her. Y'all talk the door at each other. Trying to. But if she wants me to leave, I'll leave. I didn't know. All right, man. Can I just go?
Just stand by with me so he can talk to her. What's your name?
Andrew.
Andrew.
I just want to be done with her.
Have y'all...
She's been cheating on me. She's been doing drugs. I've never done any drugs in my life.
Have y'all had police involved before in y'all's business?
Yeah, and that's why I'm trying to get my money back, because we're not supposed to have contact, but she's taking $500 each check.
Why aren't y'all supposed to have contact, Andrew?
Because...
Is there like a court order?
I guess so. I don't know. I went to court a while back, but...
Did you get arrested?
I've been arrested before. The last time I got arrested because they falsified whatever. Her mom, dude, I don't know what the issue is here. I don't know why I'm so unliked. This girl got hit by a car, and I'm taking care of her. I don't know what the problem is.
Let's get in the shade over here.
I work hard.
Where do you work at?
Williams-Sonoma.
Williams-Sonoma. Okay.
I just want to know why it's okay for her to steal $600 a week from me, and I can't do anything about it.
It's not okay. So we're here now, so maybe we
last
can
time I
help
went to
out.
court, I mentioned that, and
What'd they say?
I mean, well, they pushed it back till another day. So like,
How does she have access to your money?
well, long story short, when we were together, my phone broke. Long story short, I mean, she's manipulated me into all the where she could have all my money, basically do whatever she wants to me, kick me out whenever she wants, you know, basically do whatever, and it's okay because I'm a man. There's nothing I can do about it, like other than let her do it or leave.
But how does she? I'm asking.
Well,
how
long story short, I didn't have a phone because my phone broke. So this is the dumbest thing I've ever. We linked our cards together so she can send herself money from my card. So I mean, the first person to touch my money is her, and it's usually $500 or $600.
Where do you work? So how do you get paid through your job?
Well, I just recently switched it to a paper check, so she couldn't do that. And
Okay, so you kind of took care of that problem.
yeah, but I mean, it's still $4,000 that.
You know, you got to go to court for something like that. If she's not willing to give you the money back, you got to take her to court, a civil court, because y'all live together. So it's a civil issue.
Well, we don't live together anymore.
Y'all did though.
Okay.
So
I'm just trying to figure out, because I've told her like, hey, don't take any of my money. I'm staying at my grandma's, and then all of a sudden.
So that happened in September of 2021. And some of the things that he was sharing in this video, that she stole somewhere between $3,000 and $4,000 from him. She was taking out $500 to $600 a week when he got paid because they both had a joint account together. And he said that he tied their cards together when his phone broke or something like that, leading to this. And he blames her being a manipulative type person that led him to do some of these things, like put her on an account where she would have access. Now, granted, if she's on the account, that's different. But if he gave her a debit card and she's not on the account, she technically probably cannot use that debit card without his permission. If she is on his bank account, it's a moot point. He's fighting a dumb battle because no one can hold her accountable for anything because she's on the account, which means she has permission. And so then he changes it recently, according to this time frame, September 2021, where he changed it to paper check so that she no longer can get access to his money. And so they have this tumultuous relationship where they go on again, off again. So the former MMA fighter, who they are still together to this day. And he says she does a lot of drugs. She's spending the money on drugs. He even admits that there's a no contact order and he should not even really be there. You know, and he says that he's stuck with her even through the cheating on him and all the other bad habits that she has, but he's stuck by her. But at the same time, he knew that there was a no contact order. And so he's going there, banging on her door in a dispute over money, which he was saying that she was siphoning directly out of his account despite their ugly breakup at that time. And then we find out that Bearden, the daughter, she received this cryptic Venmo payment. She has a lengthy criminal history, including domestic violence cases involving a string of men stretching back more than a decade. Now, this truly does not mean she is the type of person that can actually kill her mother. Investigators, they served a search warrant at Amanda's home just days after her mother's remains were found in Habersham County. Her current boyfriend, Andrew Giegerich, the former MMA, he has pleaded guilty to numerous offenses against Bearden in the past 3 years, and although she had an order of protection against him last fall in September, they appear to have reconciled and have been spotted together at her home even this week. And so on September 4th, 2021, Giegerich, he showed up at her doorstep in violation of that restraining order. Bearden called police and complained that Giegerich, whom she had broken up with and kicked out, arrived around 8:30 a.m. that morning and began beating on the door and yelling. And when the responding officers got there, he said she'd been stealing his paychecks directly. And he said, "I didn't have a phone because my phone broke, so this is the dumbest mistake I've ever made. We linked our cards together so she can send herself money from my card. The first person to touch my money is her." And he says, "The only reason we've had any contact because every week she takes $500 or $600 from my check, and I just don't see how that's right." And he even says, "And she goes and does dope with my money." He claimed she'd manipulated him into having free access to his money and treated him poorly. And he says she can basically do whatever she wants to me, kick me out whenever she wants, basically just do whatever. And he tells the officers, "And it's okay because I'm a man, there's nothing I can do about it other than just let her do it and leave." And you can see the police report here, and it shows a violation of family violence order. During the encounter, he also briefly mentioned Debbie Collier in a rambling sentence as police questioned him. He says, "I've been arrested before. The last time I got arrested because they falsified whatever. I mean, her mom. I don't know what the issue is here. I don't know why I'm so unliked." And he even told the officers that he had taken care of Bearden after she'd been struck by a car. And throughout the encounter, police repeatedly told him he couldn't be on Bearden's property in violation of the order and that he needed to seek relief in civil court if she had been stealing his money. Police ultimately arrested Giegerich for violating the order, and he began crying when they took him into handcuffs. And he pleaded with officers to let him speak with Bearden. They finally relented and told him they'd ask her if she was willing, but moments later they informed him she didn't want to. He could be heard telling the arresting officers that it wasn't fair and asked if he could just go home. At moments, he broke into tears. In the ride to county jail, he appeared agitated in the back seat, banging against the cage and sobbing and concerned he'd be locked up until November. The officer tried to comfort him, telling him he'd likely be freed the next morning. Giegerich maintained throughout the conversation that he does not use drugs, but he believed Bearden was using his money to buy dope. He says, "She's probably on drugs now," he tells police outside the home minutes before they handcuffed him. But last week, after a judge jailed him for 6 days on another probation violation, his release order requires him to show proof of substance abuse treatment within 20 days. Debbie Collier's son, he issued a heartfelt statement about how amazing his mother was. According to Jeffrey Bearden, "At this time I am writing to request respect and privacy during the darkest and most harrowing time for my family. I have been incredibly hurt and disturbed by some of the reporting and information shared regarding the investigation into my mother's death. I ask that all attention on the tragic story of my mother's death remain focused on aiding the police investigation." According to police, Stephen Collier reported his wife missing on September 10th after having seen her the night before. Collier's daughter, Amanda, she told police that her mother sent her $2,385 through the Venmo app. She also reportedly received a message from her mother along with the money that said, "They're not going to let me go. Love you." This is literally a heartbreaking story and a weird story. Someone killed this lady, and then everything surrounding the daughter does not look good. She clearly has a drug habit. She clearly is willing to take money from her boyfriend without his permission at the time of a breakup. So she looks kind of sketchy, but that doesn't mean she killed her mom. And we're going to continue to find out more about this. Will she be arrested in the end? Will they find the actual murderer. And I'm sure there's a lot that the police are not sharing because this is an ongoing investigation. There's a good chance they already have someone in mind, or they are leading to someone, but they cannot release anything. That's just the way it goes, because if they share too much too soon, it could compromise the case. And so this is a strange story. And little by little, we will find out more. Rest in peace, Debbie. We hope we find justice for Debbie Collier. Please, if you know anything at all on Collier's case, you're asked to contact Habersham Sheriff's investigators, Hale Garrison or George Kaysen. You can reach them at 706-839-0559 or 706-839-0560. Please, let's get justice for Debbie. This cannot remain unsolved. Someone committed this heinous act, and we can speculate all day long. We can point fingers all day long. A lot of internet sleuths are already pointing fingers. Let's try to just give out the factual information without pointing fingers. We can do the I told you so's later, but until then, let's not do this. Just like that Kylie Rodney case. There's so many true crimers reporting on something that's not even there yet. They have not released any information that says this is true crime. Everything is speculation, but hey, it brings them views, so find a reason to talk about it. I get it. They're YouTubers. They're making money on YouTube. So whatever brings in the views, right? I get it. But let's not do that in this particular case. Let's wait for the actual facts. Only share the facts. Don't insinuate. Don't do that. Don't do that. If you're a true crimer, don't do that. Share the facts, not lead to people that are not there. My friends, I'm Manny Rodriguez. Thank you for joining me again today, and I look forward to serving you again. Peace. Justice for Debbie Collier.